The center is now having over 250 outpatients. And our discussion today was to agree with the steering committee here when we can launch the inpatient program. And I think we have been assured that they are ready. We have done the renovations of the hostel where we need to start with the male patients. And we have also space in here for some buildings where we'll also bring on board some female patients. Our target is that we are able to get up to about 40 to start with as we expand and bring more people. So we have agreed that by 22nd, we'll have the first batch to be admitted here and to be taken through a holistic addiction management program. Holistic means that when they come in, they have a lot of issues. Some of them are clinical. Through the partnership with the county government of Mombasa, the clinical issues will be addressed by the county government within the whole government approach program here in the center. And then they will go through the rehabilitation. We have also brought on board the ministries responsible for empowerment of the youth, like the Youth Affairs Ministry and even the Prisons Department. They will support us to give the young people who have stabilized to go through the skills or livelihood, the skills program for them to be able to land safely back in the community. In the region of about, I would call it around 15 million. Putting this, if you saw this thing, it was in a very bad shape. If you saw the hostel down there, it was in a very bad shape. And behind here, we have done all these works. So we have done. And we have got support from Red Cross. We have got support from the county government. Yeah. So we have worked with a number of partners to realize this dream. From the two surveys, we are persuaded that we have a serious challenge of drug abuse in our institutions. And the unrest you are seeing in the media has something to do with the findings that we have a drug issue, we have drug problems in our institutions. And I would like to encourage the Board of Management and the Parents and Teachers Associations to pay more attention to the problems of drugs in their institutions and ensure that they put in place mechanisms to control the influx of drugs into the institutions.
In recent times, we have targeted pharmacies, or what we would call normally chemists, that have been giving drugs, prescription drugs to young people without a doctor's prescription. These are drugs that help you hallucinate, dream, make you have a high and so on. Those drugs are meant to be for treating certain diseases, but they also can give you a high. So looks like pharmacists have discovered that's the easy way to make money. And we've arrested quite a number. They have gone to court. And that has helped us a lot. Of course, you know that we also have a multi-agency team that is working the counties to ensure that drugs like cannabis sativa, heroin, cocaine are interdicted, and those who are participating are actually arrested. Currently, we have very little supply through Lamu. We also have very little supply through Kwale, but most of our drugs are coming through the normal route, Nairobi, Mombasa, sometimes Garissa, Mombasa, and that's where we are putting emphasis. This is mostly opium from our neighboring country to the north, which is becoming easy to sell in our country. And in recent times, I think you've noticed, we've shared with the press, we have been able to get a number of those people transporting those drugs using cars and sometimes trucks to Mombasa. So we are proceeding. I think if we continue the same trajectory, we should have far less addiction and far less violence in our towns and cities. I think that was during the height of the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, where most young people were at home. But as you know, schools have opened, colleges are open, workplaces are now open. So we are able now to really deal with the maskans where the youth were idling. You will not find a lot of youth idling. We're encouraging our Nyumba Kumi people to mention or to inform us on places where youth still congregate in maskans so that we can deal with them. If they are truly addicted, they come here. If there are people we can take to court, we'll take to court. If there are people we can take to school, we take to school. And if there are people who we can engage, we can take them to a Kazi Mtaani program, which is still running.
Continue.